Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to OBZODACT. This is OBZODACT 56. Last episode was a doozy, wasn't it? That was a good one. That was a good app. I feel like that's the best app. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, the end of the year's coming, and I think it's the second to last app if we do an app a week until the end of the year. I don't know. Maybe next step. Ron and I can pull something out of our ass and do something better than the last episode. But I think last episode may not only be the best podcast for a while, but the best podcast ever. Herforth's actually listened to it. It seems like from his comment, which I'm so surprised. I mean, I'm surprised anyone like. Sometimes when I make a crap episode, I think, well, at least Herforth's will give it a go. At least. And I thought this one is just we went too far. I was thinking this is too far. But Herforth's watched it. And I think that means that we're going in the right direction. And there'll be more retard apps. But not this episode. This episode's a dream episode. I'm excited, guys. Okay, I'm going to read the dreams now. There will be questions in this episode. I want to get through all of my dreams. I want to have like a backlog of them. Is this is less for entertainment value and more for autistically logging shit. Also, I got a ginger drink here. I'm going to take a sip of it before I start. I mean, horribly ill. Hold up. Whoa, that's pretty strong. Actually, it's not that strong. Basically, all I've done is I've chopped up ginger and put it in this little bowl. And then I put it in hot water. My mum was like, this will help. And hopefully it will. I've been drinking lemon tea. I've had a very upset stomach and my shits have been going off. But mainly, just staying up till 5 a.m. with a bucket, trying not to throw up, because I hate throwing up. I almost vomited last night. But I really try not to vomit. It's probably not very good for me. Anyway, let's actually start with the dreams now. Let's get into the meat of this podcast. Which, of course, is the dreams. Okay, here we go. So, another sidetrack. I'm going to scroll down. Everything, I say this every episode. I log my dreams on my phone, and then I type it up properly on my computer. So, I type it up on my phone while I'm half asleep. I remember this and this and this and this. And then on my computer, I try and actually make it make sense. And I think out of the ones on my computer, what I've got left here to read is from the 8th of November until the 24th of November, 2021. So I think there's a good chance this could be the last dream app until I write more. Unless, I don't know, unless I call it short or something, but or if I just suck at reading, I don't know. But hey, that's pretty cool, right? I've almost read everything. I've never gotten to the end of it. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go. Dream app 6. Let's read it. Just read the fucking shit, motherfucker. 8th of November, 2021 at 7:35 a.m. All I remember of this dream was I was staying at a hotel, I believe in London. I can't remember why or what I was doing there. All I remember is that every so often, the cleaners would come in and see me naked. I hated this, but had to put up with it as it was simply how the hotel operated and was expected to happen if I were to stay there. Okay, that was the dream on the 8th of November, 2021. Now we got 9th of November 2021 at 2:06 p.m. I met my old friend Freya. We met at her house, I think, and I wished her good luck with her inventory. Then I realized wishing her good luck with her inventory doesn't make sense to say. And what I meant to say was good luck with your documentary. That's a pretty good one, right? Hey, this is actually I changed words names around because I'm writing this in a book, and I looked up on the internet, hey, you can't use real names in a book. But I think that's because you sell it, right? And it's like you can't use someone's likeness without their permission or some shit. Ooh, that was very strong. Um, but this isn't actually someone called Freya. I got confused for a second because I actually used to know someone called Freya. I've changed the names around. This is actually Frankie, someone who's been on the pod. But I wrote this like before she came on the pod or anything. But I guess I dreamt this because Frankie was at the time working on a feature length documentary, and I think it's done now and stuff. Anyway, I'll change the name to the proper name. Frankie laughed, and we both joked about how I mispronounced documentary as inventory. That was a pretty good dream, because I mispronounce stuff in real life, so it's kind of a reference to real life. Okay, this one is the 10th of November, 6:26 a.m. My mum and I travelled to London to meet my aunt. We met an old friendly English pub. We met at an old friendly English pub. We all ordered beers and ciders, and they tasted really good. Bottles looked very Christmassy in the light. After a while of drinking, we all got a bit tipsy, so we stumbled back to my aunt's maisonette. A maisonette is an apartment with 2 stories. It was getting real late at this point, so we all were getting really ready to sleep. I was going to take my cousin's old room with Jessie, my dog, who was, for some reason, now with us. I laid down some bedding on the floor for Jessie to sleep on, while I planned to take the bed. But before I could get on the bed, Jessie had already planted herself on the bed. I think, whatever. I just get on the bed with her, curl around her, and start petting her as I slowly drift off. Before I properly fell asleep, I thought to myself, why not call Ron and show him Jessie over Discord? So I get my phone, and as I'm about to call Ron, Jessie gets up and sleeps in the bed I made for her on the floor. I'd gotten comfortable sleeping next to Jessie, so I just grabbed some bedclothes from the bed and sleep next to her on the floor. That's kind of cool, right? This is a wholesome dream. Anyway, then I woke up thinking, why am I not at my aunt's house? Then I realized all of that must have been a dream, and I got real pissed, because I knew I had to get up and do work and shit. Damn, that always sucks. Holy shit, okay, so that dream was 10th of November, 6:26 a.m., and this next dream is 12th of November, so I missed a day, but 12th of November, at 2021 at 6:26 a.m. also. Isn't that crazy? That's just crazy, guys. That's fucking nuts. That's insane. Okay, I'm gonna try and read. I'm gonna try and improve on my reading. I should take reading lessons. Okay, here we go. Woke up exactly the same time? Yes. I went into the upstairs bathroom to use the toilet, but my mum had left the door open when she was naked, shitting in the bathtub. Though this was for some reason normal, and while she was shitting, she asked, "Can you please find the new flannels downstairs I bought, and remove the labels?" I go downstairs and find the flannels. When I found them, they already had the labels removed. At this point, I fell into a horrible sleep paralysis. I don't remember much, but I do remember very high-pitched ringing, along with scary imagery, and as usual, I find it impossible to regulate my breathing, which freaks me out. After what felt like minutes of being stuck, I wake up with a huge headache, and I lay there feeling relieved I woke up. For a while after waking up, I hallucinated that an upside-down white triangle/diamond shape was in my vision, wherever I looked. After allowing the hallucination to continue for a while, not sure if I had a choice either way, the marshmallow's eyes and mouth from the Annoying Orange show on YouTube appear on the inside of the diamond. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever seen Annoying Orange, but the show is like, it's got these they basically put real people's eyes and mouth on fruit like the annoying orange, or like there's one character which is a marshmallow, and they put real people's eyes and mouths, and it's like a kind of easy way of animating fruit by just putting, like, editing a real mouth and eyes, just the eyes and mouth, onto something while they speak and say their lines and stuff. Anyway, and I imagine the marshmallow laughing and saying funny stuff. After a while, the hallucination dissipated. You should watch, and then this is a side note, you should watch the entire Annoying Orange catalog on YouTube if you haven't already. I still recommend that. Yeah, that's crazy. So that sounds like it was part of a dream, but no, that I remember that was real. That was not real, but that was a hallucination. Oh, this ginger's getting stronger and stronger because I'm leaving it in there. Okay, 14th of November, 2021 at 4:46 p.m. When I log these at these times where it's like, what the hell? It's either that I'm taking a nap in the day, or what I assume most of the time is that I remember it later on in the day, and it's logged at that time because that's when I wrote it into my phone, and then I take when it was written into my phone as the time of it being logged, if that makes sense. Anyway, in my dream, I grew out my hair much longer than it is in real life, but not as long as the longest it's been. So, yeah, at this point, I think in November 2021, my hair was beginning to grow back again, but in August 2021, I had just shaved it all off. So it was reasonably short. So somehow I'd grown it in my dream. What the hell? Anyway. I wasn't taking care of it, nor did I give a shit about how fucked it looked. I just thought it was awesome my hair was growing out again. And there's some extra information, which I probably just gave you. A few months before this dream, I shaved my head from being the longest my hair had ever been to bald, simply because I was sick of taking care of it for hours every day, and thought if I were going to get rid of it, I may as well go all the way. Basically what I just said, right? I think. Okay. 15th of November, 2021, at 10:15 a.m. I was watching a brand new Iron Man movie. It had all the original cast, obviously. I can't recall much from the movie, other than one of the key focuses was the destruction of the Iron Man armor throughout the movie. In other Iron Man movies, the damage the suits sustained throughout are one of my favorite things to focus on. That's a little bit of real life information. Like when I'm watching the Avengers movie, and like throughout the movie, Iron Man's suit gets deteriorated, and then he has to replace it at the end with a better armor or whatever. That shit's like that's my main focus of the movie. That's what I really like about Iron Man, is seeing the armor deteriorate. This is cool. The armor's cool. That's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm a dumb kid. I can't understand emotions. Oh, he wants to save the world order. I don't care. Just look at the armor, though. Holy shit. That's from when he got shot and from when he tried to fix the ship. And oh my god, it's so cool. Anyway, whilst watching this new Iron Man movie, I was really excited because it was the first time it was the main focus. The armor was all new as well and looked very mechanical, and was worn by Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. I just sat there thinking, they finally made the perfect Iron Man movie. That was that dream. 17th of November, 2021 at 8:26 a.m. There was this tall, black, human-like figure with really long arms and legs and a demonic-looking body. No need for clothes. He was hunting me down and others down. He was hunting me and others down, and would remain invisible whenever he was more than a couple feet away from someone. When he got close to the person he was hunting, he'd appear, grab the person, and then turn invisible again, silencing their screams. I, however, had a superpower against this monster. When he got near me, my tinnitus in my ears, which I have in real life, would get louder and louder until it was ear-piercing when he was right next to me. I had an encounter with him throughout many of my dreams that night, though here is the only one I remember with any clarity. Michael, this emo girl and I were all sitting outside at the end of my garden playing with Beyblades. After a while, I went into my house to get some snacks. When I come back out, Michael and the emo girl had moved all their Beyblade stuff closer to the house, leaving mine at the end of the garden. At this point, I had already had enough encounters with this black monster to know that if I went to the back of the garden alone, I'd start hearing the tinnitus in my ears getting louder and louder until I run away, back to be close to the house, because being inside makes you safe, I knew somehow. I start to slowly walk over to my Beyblades, trembling with every step, listening as carefully as possible for my tinnitus to start rising. Michael, who could tell I was scared, then decided to go and get the Beyblades for me, and walked right past me. As Michael approached my Beyblades at the end of the garden, I heard it. I started to freak out, thinking, shit, Michael's dead as fuck. The tinnitus started getting very loud as Michael stood up from picking up my Beyblades. At that point, the monster appeared, grabbing Michael from behind, and disappeared. The sound didn't get any quieter, only louder and louder, signaling to me that he was approaching me and the emo girl. Fuck this, I think, as I ran as fast as I could around to the front of the house to use the front door. For some reason, my dream locked me out of the back one I had just been in. As I ran, the tinnitus reached unbearable levels. I assumed the monster got the emo girl just as fast as he got Michael, because he was right on my tail. On the way to the front of my house, I see Owen Wilson. I try to convince him that he needs to come inside with me because it's the only way to escape the monster. Nah, man, it's cool out here, he says. All cool like. He did look very cool, wearing a white cowboy hat and a cowboy uniform, I think. He's way too cool to convince me, so I keep running. Oh wait, he's way too cool to convince, yeah. So I keep running to the front of the house. I don't see the monster appear and take Owen Wilson because I wasn't looking, but I can only assume. Finally, the front door. The tinnitus is so loud at this point, I can't even hear myself scream to my family inside, "Let me in! Let me in!" I think to continue knocking and screaming. However, I realize I'm probably seconds away from death. In a complete frenzy, I smash the glass of my front window of my door in the hopes that my death won't be in vain, that someone inside might be looking at the door about to answer it, and they'll be able to see through the hole in the frosted glass, and that my death would be proof that this happens to people who stay outside. I'm dying, I screamed. I wasn't sure if anyone could hear me because I couldn't hear myself. Then I got grabbed from behind. My mind awoke, but my body didn't. Sleep paralysis again, I think to myself. Usually, and especially after a dream like that, sleep paralysis would drive me bonkers, but for some reason it didn't bother me too much on this morning, and I just simply waited it out until I woke up. That's always nice to read that I didn't have a complete meltdown about sleep paralysis. I'm going to take another sip of ginger and itch my beard. Sorry, that was fucking gross. Okay. Woo! That's getting strong. That's good, though. I do like ginger. It's just ginger. My mom said I should put honey in, but I thought I'd just try ginger. Hell yeah. It's going to get stronger. I kind of want to put more warm water in it, because I like how strong it's getting. Oh my god, we are how many pages away? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages left. Holy shit. We can get through them all this episode, I think. May as well, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll keep going. Let me just make sure yeah, okay. 19th of November, 2021, at 9:10 a.m. or 10 past 9. I was sitting at my desk waiting for Ella to send me a download link to a horror game she had made with her university group. I was to play the game and review it, give them notes on how to improve as a part of a survey they were taking. Yeah, I guess like I don't know if you ever done this, but you have to get like you have to get feedback on your product sometimes, and I was doing a dangerous thing, sipping it, 'cause sometimes when you sip, it can shoot right to the back of your throat. I received the download link, so I loaded up the game. It was really good and scary. As I played, my dreams slowly became less about the game and more like I was watching the new season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, set to release December 1st. And I'll put a little side note. I've been waiting for this new series to release for a while. They had a year's delay due to COVID. It's been out now. This season 15 is very good. It wasn't out at the time of writing this. The episode was Dee and Charlie's mum's the episode was Dee and Charlie's mum, Mrs. Kelly, from the show, both putting on a play for an audience in a small room. It was intentionally cringy and very funny. Soon enough, it was actually in the audience. No longer watching on my computer. No, soon enough, I was actually in the audience, sorry. No longer on my computer watching, but actually in the show. It was awesome. Mrs. Kelly and Dee kept falling over each other, and Dee kept yelling at Mrs. Kelly. Mrs. Kelly just got upset and panicky, both acting as if they would as they would on the show. I could hear a laugh track in the background. This worried me a little. This was only the first episode of the season, so I shouldn't be too quick to judge, I think. But if the laugh track was to be in every single episode here on out, I don't think I could watch the show anymore. I could only hope the laugh track was being used because of the audience setting. Soon it was like I was at my computer again, watching the show, though I couldn't really tell what was going on, and I felt awful and faint, like there was something very wrong with me. I grasped at my desk and tried to make myself feel normal and grounded. Make myself feel normal and grounded, but everything just felt odd, and I had a massive headache. Then I woke up with the same massive headache, except I felt relief that I now know why I felt so weird, because I was in a dream, and I remember how much I hate sleeping. Fuck sleeping, that shit's gay. I think sometimes the reason I feel so awful in dreams can be because, I don't want to call it sleep apnea, but maybe that's what it is, but I definitely have trouble sleeping because of my breathing, and I think if I'm having a tough time getting enough oxygen while I'm sleeping, and I don't wake up straight away or whatever, and, it can make me feel awful. So I think that's what sometimes happens. It's also why I have a lot of dreams, I think, because I think I wake up a lot more than most people because I can't sleep long enough. Breathe enough to sleep long enough. Does that make sense? I think it's better, at least better now, because I take asthma puffers now, but I still think it can get bad. I'm going to take another sip. That shit good. Damn, that shit good, homie. Anyway. So okay, here's the next stream, and we're near the end. Holy shit! 22nd of November, 2021, at 8:23 a.m. I was helping my family build a barn in our back garden, and then this is some extra information. We were actually building one when I dreamt this in real life. We had builders working for us. One of them was on the neighbor's roof, right next to where we're building the barn. He kept destroying their roof and flinging their tiles off. Each time he flung a tile off, he kept almost falling himself. Each time this happened, he winked at me, as if to say, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing's dangerous." After not too long, my dad came running out, worried for this man's safety. Now here's a second dream. I was in my hometown, walking, confused, in a blizzard. I would walk and try and find my way, and continue to grow more confused as to where I am. I also had no way of telling what the time was, as I didn't have any clock or watch, and it was permanently dark. And then in the dream, the dream kind of ended with me thinking, shit, is this how the world is going to be from now on? So that was my second dream of the night. This is what I mean. I would have probably woken up in between each of these dreams, kind of gasping for air, like, fuck. Anyway, in my third dream that night, I was around Ella's house. We were sitting around the table eating dinner. I looked at Ella's mum across the table and winked, and she questioned me, Oliver, why do you always wink at people like that? Now I put a little extra information. The reason I dreamt this is because I wink at people in real life a lot, and most people probably don't want to question it or ignore it. However, some react as Ella's mum did in this dream here, I tell you that much. I for sure had other dreams, maybe betwixt the other dreams that night. I couldn't stop waking up because of how cold my room gets. Okay, so it wasn't because of breathing, it's because of how cold my room gets. And so I remember more dreams, though not much detail, as I would wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up, etc., resulting in all my dreams being a haze. Okay, next morning, 23rd of November 2021 at 10:08 a.m. The times, by the way, obviously aren't when I have the dreams, it's just when I wake up that morning and log them. I was hanging out with Ella's brother, Harley. We were near my hometown, looking across all the fields surrounding the town, looking for his egg field. Growing chickens? In the ground? Awesome. We both drove across the fields in search together, though soon enough I splitting up to cover more. Soon enough, we split up, is what I should say. I'm gonna correct that right now, cause that fucked me up, dude. Soon enough, we split up to cover more ground to find his egg field. Driving by myself for a while had me realize I haven't any idea what these egg fields are supposed to look like. And I think to myself, shit, I should have stuck with Harley. Lucky for me, we meet soon after, ditch the cars, and begin searching on foot. Though this didn't seem to help, as we didn't find head nor tail of the dang chicken eggplants. Though something I did find were plants that only look like eggs. So I make a funny joke to Harley and say, "Hey, here they are." We keep walking across these vast fields, growing further and further away from my town, until we come across a Minecraft house. It was made of wood, built in the middle of a field like it's a farmhouse. I entered the home, and as I did, the whole house became a set for a YouTube video. I see an underage girl filming a reaction video. I could also see the thumbnails for the videos she was filming in front of me. Kind of out of nowhere, but it wasn't odd to me that this was happening. What was odd to me was that clearly the guy creating these thumbnails was trying to clickbait this underage reactionist videos by sexualizing her in every thumbnail. I could also see how the videos were being edited in real time, and the editing was also done in a way to sexualize her. The girl decided to turn the camera onto her father to make him react to a video she was reacting to. He watches the video along with her, but doesn't give any reaction as he is just watching the video as a normal human being would, disregarding the audience she's putting him in front of. This is obviously bad content, so the girl starts picking up random objects within her grasp from her desk on the floor and starts chucking it at him to get his reaction. Then I wake up. Then there's some real life information. For a few seconds, I question whether all of that was a dream or if I was just in deep thought. Then I realize it was a dream, for God's sake. Then I write this down for one time. That dream was crazy. I think this is the last dream. This is the last dream I've wrote today. into this book. Isn't that insane? 24th of November 2021 at 8:01 a.m. I went to my old sweet shop in my hometown to buy some Haribos. This sweet shop, which closed down in real life in March 2020, not due to COVID, but because they had been losing money for years. I worked for them for their final 5 months or so of business, behind the cash register. Now back to the dream. As I purchase the Haribos, the shop becomes more open and surrounded by shrubbery and forest. This makes it difficult to locate the sweets I had just bought, and I go looking for them in the forest and get lost. After wandering around for what felt like an eternity, I begin to feel myself become slow and age, and I begin to feel myself become slow and ages now and aged and old, slow and old. I'm rewriting that. Sorry, I don't usually correct my spelling mid podcast, but it's just I wrote this like 2 weeks ago and it's all fucked up. I'm like, fuck, I just want to correct this. Anyway, I begin to feel myself become slow and old. Now, instead of trying to locate the sweets as a child would, I aim to find a dog to call my own. I find myself surrounded by stray dogs in the wild and struggle to find the right one I want to take. Then I see him. This dog is so small and fluffy, I just have to chase and catch him. Though as I say, I'm getting old, so it takes me a while to catch up with him. When I finally catch up with the little guy, and I see that he had led me back to my hometown I had seemingly lost. When I finally catch up with the little guy, I see... Okay, this is fucked. Okay, sorry, let me reread that. When I finally catch up with the little guy, I see that he had led me back to my hometown I had seemingly lost. Maybe a comma there too. This podcast is me proofreading. It's just a fucking shit book I'm writing. I pick him up and wander around my hometown and enjoy looking at the place I once lost. The baker's, the old sweet shop, the bus stop, the park, the alleyway. Everything seems amazing. I take notice of my body and I realize I am 100 years old. I look down and notice I am pushing a futuristic pram with all gadgets and gizmos attached, with my baby inside the pram. As I look up, I notice I am now in a mall, which I presume must have been added to my small town at some point while I was lost in the forest. I see an escalator that could take me up to the top section of the mall, so I get on. Though as I do, I see that it's a futuristic escalator and freaks me out. I'm an old guy, remember? Unlike a regular escalator, which would either rotate stairs or some form of metal segmented belt around probably a motor at the top and bottom and at other points in the escalator, this escalator was made up of at least 100, probably hundreds of 2-inch in diameter and 24 inches across, rotating cog-like grippy cylinders. It was kind of like when you're at the airport and you have to put your carry-on belongings into trays and then down this conveyor belt through the X-ray scanners, then out the other side. Except it's not a conveyor belt, is it now? It's a bunch of goddamn rotating cylinders. Do you understand what the fuck I'm trying to describe? It's basically that, except they are cogs. And somehow... Goddamn, I'm really trying to hammer home how this escalator works. They're cogs and somehow rotate all the same way and grip onto prams and the like to help people get upstairs. It's the fucking future. God damn, that's like, this is hard to write. I really fell off writing it because I wrote the rest like, I don't know, months ago. and now this is all fucked. It's basically that I feel like I should have more commas. It's basically that except they are cogs and somehow rotating all the same way and gripped onto the pram. Oh my god, this is whatever. I'll sort it out. When I get off the elevator at the top, I run around pushing the pram real fast, filming the whole thing from my perspective, then putting the camera in the pram with the baby, because of course I'm still a YouTuber at 100 years old. Suddenly, my mum appears next to me. She is very old, but not quite as old as me. We three take the elevator back down to the bottom level of the mall. And near the bottom of the elevator, we all see a big metal garage door slide upwards automatically, revealing all of my friends and family behind it. As we enter the room and are surrounded what the fuck am I trying to write? As we enter the room and are then surrounded by everyone I used to know, oh my god. I'm sorry guys, I fell off. I now notice how old everyone has gotten. They all seem to have aged at variable rates. I felt overwhelmed by the experience, though cracked a joke. I'm lucky these elevators mean I'll never have to feel my age again. I haven't climbed a set of stairs in decades. Everyone laughs. Hard, of course. Odd course. At my hard, of course, at my fine joke. It's a well-known fact that all stairs have been replaced by escalators in the future. Amongst the crowd, I see Ella's father, Moggy. He is real old now, except, like my mother, still somehow younger than me. I tell him, "Hey, I made it to 100. "Good job," he says, real chill like he had a feeling I'd make it. "I'd like to raise a toast," my mum says to the crowd. This is what I'm saying. I was real young the last time my mum raised a toast. Haha. I respond cleverly. As my mum talks to our friends and relatives, I grow more and more sick, to where I feel like I'm going to vom, and I feel phlegm build up in my throat. I reason this is because... What the fuck am I writing? I reason this is because I have old guy disease or some shit. I step out a door which I find away from the crowd, looking for an outside area to possibly vom. I see I am now just outside my house in my hometown. I start coughing up greyish black tar phlegm in the plants and on the pavement outside my front door, and I feel real sick to all hell. I think I was trying to do a Norm thing. I look down on the grey mass. Oh my god. I look down on the grey mass, then look up to see the sun shining bright on my village, and feel like although I'm coming to an end, everything else will continue on in perfect harmony as it always has, and this makes me feel secure. I reminisce the time I picked out the stray dog and chased him down back to my house, my hometown, and I feel lucky to have experienced such joy in my life, doing something I love. Then I became saddened by this overwhelming feeling that I didn't find something that was my thing, and that now it's too late, and I become very tearful for my death, or fearful of my death, and began crying uncontrollably, overwhelmed with fear. After a while, I start to think, hey, I enjoyed chasing down that stray dog. Maybe I should go and do that again. I could find more. I still have time. I still continued to cry, though wasn't so full of dread, and considered leaving the party with all my friends and family early, and going looking for some stray dogs. Yes, that'll be my thing. I then went a number of steps down my road by myself before waking up to my heart beating real fast and hard. Holy shit, that's all the dreams. They're all red, every single one. That's the whole thing, guys. I did it in sub 40 minutes, I think. Maybe just over 40 minutes. I'm going to take another sip of my thing. Holy shit, that's strong now. That's really strong. Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks for listening to the dream, guys. I will probably write up more and read more next year. Hopefully I'll get a guest on for the final episode of the OBZODACT. I'm sure I will. This week, someone had to cancel. So, maybe they come on next week though. Maybe. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna exercise because I haven't exercised in a few days, and I stopped. I started exercising, but I had to stop because running in the freezing cold was making me horribly sick, and I've only really just begun to recover. Although I still am like staying up most nights trying to throw up, but at least I'm getting better. I'm getting better for sure. I can tell. Anyway, I'll stop complaining. Thanks for listening to my dream. Am I still recording? Hell yeah. I didn't check if the mic was still going that entire app. Anyway. See. Oh! You guys thought I was going to end the pod, didn't you? I really was just about to end the pod. This is what happens when I don't have a plan. Like, usually, if I have I'm going to do comment section reading. Don't worry. That's what I just remembered I have to do. I would, even if I stopped recording, I would have still done it, because I would have closed myself out of this dream journal and then seen that I have the comments open underneath it. But yeah, this is what happens when I don't have a plan, because usually I'd have my phone open and I'd have like just a couple questions just in case we run out of shit to say. But then also I'd have the comments right at the bottom, or at least a reminder to read the comments. But don't worry, I've just remembered, so we'll read them now. So let's read, first of all, Frost Drive's, Alexis's comment. Alexis's comment? Or Alexis's comment? Let me know, Alexis. Alexis was, of course, on the last episode. Used to be called Frost Drive. Transitioned from he to she. Now called Alexis. Last episode might have been a little bit actually confusing, because basically how the podcast went is that Ron and I did the first, 13 minutes by ourselves. And that bit was me telling Ron the questions I had planned, and us two figuring out how we think at the time Frost Drive would respond, how he would respond. But that was recorded before Frost Drive came out to us as a girl, and so then we're saying the whole time, right at the beginning, we're saying, oh, I think he will say this, Frost Drive will say that, blah, blah, blah. Then when the episode starts, suddenly it's like we're referring to Frost Drive as Alexis and saying she. So I don't know if that translated, like I don't know how obvious. I'm sure it's obvious. Yeah, it makes sense, but it might have been a little bit confusing for like the first, I guess, 2 or 3 minutes of when the Alexis came on. But yeah, just to explain, because we recorded it, even though basically, oh shit, I think I just played some of the audio. Fuck. Even though oh no, actually it won't come through because I'm cutting that out. But anyway, even though like the previous episode we had Alexis on, which was episode 53, I think. She had came out to me. We recorded the opening of 55 before 53, if that makes sense. We record all over the place. Anyway, let's respond to the comments. This one's from Alexis. Boo boo or an oopsie, or a poo poo or a poopsie. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I came up with that joke. It's a play on babies when they get a boo boo or an oopsie. Except if a baby shit himself, it'd be a poo poo or a poopsie. I'm glad you appreciate that one. I knew you would. Anyway, Herforce comments 4403. The tabs that I'm referring to are the other YouTube video pages that I have to watch as well as yours. Right now, there are only 2 tabs for me to watch. To avoid excessive tabs, hopefully most videos are only a few minutes to 5 minutes long. But when videos like yours reach the hour mark, more tabs are adding to my must-watch list, and I fall behind and get overloaded. So yeah, I know what Huff was talking about. I have a million tabs open right now. My guess is this is what I used to do when I used to really be into growing my channel. Is I used to just watch loads of channels around my size, right? That's like a good way of growing your channel, is if you watch channels around your size, and then they'll watch yours. Maybe you'll even make videos together. Just make friends of people with similar size, similar interests, and watch each other's videos, learn from each other, like learn what works from each other, and help each other grow, right? And you're all watching each other's videos, and you're kind of all creating an audience for yourselves and each other, whilst also learning off each other, and it's just like a community, right? And I think what her thoughts so what I used to do is I used to have, a lot of videos to watch because I would want to watch all my friends' videos, and not necessarily friends, but I'd want to try and watch all the people who, not everyone who watched me, but I'd say, oh shit, someone new has commented on my channel. Let's see if they uploaded anything I'd want to watch, and if they do, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna try and make a point of watching their stuff, so that they keep watching my stuff, right? And then it's like you get a back and forth kind of thing. It's almost like sub for sub, except for advanced hoes. Anyway, I think that's kind of what her thoughts is doing, but then this is what got me confused. Her thoughts. You haven't uploaded in 3 years. So here's my question: How much of what I just said relates to you? Are you doing it because it's like you've been doing it? Obviously, you've been doing it to grow your channel. It's just a habit you haven't grown out of. You want to keep watching all these videos that you always used to watch, regardless of whether you upload or not. Or I want to know how much of it is like, how much do you actually want to watch, listen to the podcast, and how much is it out of like kind of obligation? Because it sounds like an obligation to you to listen to this. However, I spoke to Ron about this. It's like, yeah, but he wouldn't do it if he didn't actually enjoy it at least a little bit, right? So how much of, if you are listening to this right now, how much of you wants to listen out of obligation, and how much, whatever obligation means, actually. I haven't even really defined that. But like, I guess what I'm asking is, what the fuck? Why are you watching this shit? This is the worst shit that anyone could watch. But I really appreciate that you listen, obviously. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna manage to make myself make any sense. Thanks for listening, and I will write up more dreams and read more dreams soon. I will also hopefully have a guest on next step, and it won't be we'll end it on a high this year, I hope. Okay, see you guys.